Though there have been a number of different prime ministers in the UK over the last few years, it's been a while since the public went out and voted for one themselves. And the rules have changed since the last UK general election took place in 2019, making it easier for British citizens to vote from abroad. A Votes for Life policy was introduced, scrapping a 15-year limit on allowing Brits abroad who previously lived in the UK to vote in the election. For many, like the Chief Minister, who have studied or worked in the UK more than 15 years ago, this will allow them to have a say on the next UK government.
So I shall be voting in the UK election because I'm taking advantage of the fact that as a British citizen who was resident in the United Kingdom for the period that I was a student, I have been registered to vote in the past and therefore I'm entitled to vote going forward. I'll be casting my vote in Oxford, which is where I was registered for the general election when I was a resident in the United Kingdom as a student, and I would urge everybody who has at different times been resident in the United Kingdom, if they can, still to register for the vote in July so that they can exercise that direct right of representation that they will have just as a voter for a constituency in the UK, electing somebody to the Westminster Parliament on the 4th of July.
The changes were introduced in 2021 and were the subject of discussion when Fabian Picardo gave evidence to the House of Commons Committee on Territorial Constitution.
If you're asking us whether we think we as British citizens resident on British soil should be represented in the mother of all parliaments that retains the right to determine issues as existentially important to Gibraltar as external relations, defence and internal security, frankly, the only answer you're going to get is yes. And if you ask us the question, don't expect us to say anything other than yes.
The deadline to register to vote is the 18th of June. You can do so on the UK government website. Be prepared to think back to your old national insurance number and last UK address. If possible, find some proof of this, though the system tries to find alternatives for you to register without these if you can't get hold of them. Around 10 to 15 minutes later, I've submitted my application and will hopefully soon be able to vote by proxy or postal on the 4th of July.